What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chase, aka CR Media, and we are here live on the Sunday morning drive with Sports Empire Network. Guys, I am joined by my fellow brethren here at Sports Empire Network. I've got Coach Dante in the house this morning, Smoking Jeremy B as usual, and Wire to Wire Gene. Appreciate you, gentlemen, joining this morning. How are y'all doing?
I'm phenomenal. How you feeling? I'm just like clearing my throat. Had a rough week getting over being sick, but I'm good.
Man, I'm having an awesome morning, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Jeremy, you're muted.
I must have bumped my little button on the headphone. There we go. That better?
Yes,
I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock. I've got a good record going this year. Though I've kept little photos of all my pick'ems that I do, because I go off of the pick'ems that I do in my pick'em contest, where first prize is a free jersey. So I've actually am hitting about 72% right this season.
Nice.
And that was with a horrible week 2 of 3-13.
Nice. Hunter Dillon, we appreciate you joining with us, watching on YouTube, my friend. I'm glad to know you're feeling better and you're out of the hospital.
Amen.
Man, Gene, I'm right there with you, brother. I had it the week before, and then this week I've been on I was feeling great. Last night, overexerted myself just a little bit, and now I'm tired and I'm beat. So we had an absolute blast yesterday. As you guys know, the aim of this show is to go down the gridiron, break down the games.
We have a guy that comes in and orders it with extra sauce
and go from there. But before we get into that, what I want to do is I want to take an opportunity, like we always do, and just kind of go one-to-one and let everybody know where you are and where they can find you on social media, gentlemen, okay? Coach Dante, we'll start with you.
I know y'all can find me on social media, Instagram, on Coach Dante 31, on Twitter, Coach Dante 31, Dante 31, and y'all can find me right here, Empire Sports Network, and Coach Dante YouTube channel, East Coast Gridiron Podcast. Y'all can pretty much find me everywhere, bro. Everywhere. I mean, all over the place.
All right, Jeremy.
You can find me on the Sports Empire Network, not only on this show, but also with my writings on the page. You can also find me on www.southfloridatribune.com under the Motor City Tribune heading, where I am their Lions editorialist as well. You can also find me at Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B, and my Twitter handle is right next to my name. I'm all over the place.
That's what's up, man. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. You can find us on Sports Empire Network. But yeah, I mean, we're growing. We're doing well. You also see me on Pregame and Pigskin Thursday night with Kyle Edwards and The Godfrey. We got a new show coming Monday with Kyle Edwards and Jordan Jean Lewis. So that'll be Cheap Seats. That'll be Monday night. So hey, listen, we got a ton of shows. Sports Empire Network. Check us out, and Wire to Wire Sports Podcast.
Fantastic. Hey, Gene, before I kind of talk about my tag, I like the way you set up. Like, we make a great team, man. Like Kobe and Shaq, man. You put it up, and I'm just gonna slam dunk it down because you said cheap seats. And what better way to talk about cheap seats than talk about Sports Empire Network's partnership with SeatGeek.com, where you can use promo code SEN for Sports Empire Network to get a percentage off of your tickets. So make sure you guys check out SeatGeek.com. No, guys, my name is Chase. You can find me at CR Media 1988 on all forms of social media. I am Sports Empire Network's residential professional wrestling guy. But I love me some football. Football will always be one of my first loves. And we'll talk about football today. But make sure you head over to Sports Empire Network, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss anything. So you can find my AEW Dynamite post show on Wednesday nights. And then also we do the Arrowhead Asylum sometimes on Tuesday nights. So sometimes. So. All right. Looks like we got Dylan joining with us this morning. Dylan, how are you this morning, sir?
Good morning, everybody. Good, good, good. I was just doing housework, and I'm this type of people that I lose track of time if I get on like a flow and on a roll. So like I checked out my phone and I was like, oh, it's 9:34. Oh crap, I gotta like rush back.
There you go. There you go, man. Hey, Dylan, we're talking real quick about where everybody can find each other on social media and what you're doing with for Sports Empire Network, man. Why don't you go ahead and tell us that? And he's dead. Cool. All right. So while we wait for Dylan to get reconnected or reestablished here, we'll start off these games, guys. The jumping into the mix of things. One of our first noon games. We've got the New York Jets at 7-5 going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are 9-3 in Buffalo. Coach Dante, I'm going to start with you, man. Who you got in this game?
I got Buffalo winning this game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I got Buffalo at home. I think they even the odds. You look at the last matchup when Buffalo in the fourth quarter got worn down by the running game. By the running game, they absolutely got worn down. The offensive line definitely dominated the line of scrimmage in that fourth quarter. I believe the Buffalo Bills just even the odds today in a very close game. Very close game. Josh Allen cannot turn the ball over in tough time, in big time situations. He's been turning the ball over in the red zone lately. He's been very turnover prone. Got to get the ball to the playmakers too. Got to get the ball in the playmakers' hands and establish the running game. If you can do that, I think they win this football game. So I'm going for the even for the Buffalo Bills at home. And also a tough loss by New York in Minnesota. Mike White throws an interception at the red zone, and they did come back and make that game interesting, but a tough loss. But I'm going for I gotta go for the Buffalo Bills. I gotta take the Buffalo Bills to even the odds.
I didn't say she could. She could be a little beyond. Okay, I should do it this time. I did it last time.
Jeremy?
Okay. I didn't even hear me. My name. First time I heard my name. But anyways, I'm taking Buffalo, but I'm not saying the Jets can't win. They've got a great defense, and that's something as defenses have improved this season, even the bad teams, Buffalo has kind of struggled lately, and that's mostly because they can't get their run game going other than Josh Allen. I mean, you can't have your quarterback be your number one rusher unless you're Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts.
All right, so I think this is like Big Brother taking a little brother in the backyard. And I think little brother beat Big Brother last time they played. And Big Brother's ready for this game. And I don't mean to say this to be disrespectful to the New York Jets, but when you're looking at Josh Allen or Mike White, I'm taking Josh Allen 100 times out of 100. I think the Buffalo Bills are the better football team. They get them in their heart, in their house. Buffalo's a really good front running team too. They blow a lot of teams out. When they keep games close is when you got to worry because they're not a great close game team. But I got Buffalo in a rout this game. I think they're going to destroy them.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wanted to take the Jets at first, but I mean, let's be realistic. Josh Allen is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's going to find ways to help that team win. So I'm going with Buffalo this morning as well. So the next game we're going to talk about is the 5-7 Cleveland Browns going and visiting the 8-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Coach Dante, who you got, man?
I got the Bengals. They were embarrassed on Halloween night versus the Cleveland Browns. They come up with a big win last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, pretty much in a close game. I think they ride that momentum off the beating the Chiefs at home and return the favor and beat the Cleveland Browns. The biggest thing, they got to stop Nick Chubb. You got to stop Nick Chubb, which he was held in check pretty much last week against my Houston Texans. We pretty much did a good job on them. So if they can find a way to hold on Nick Chubb, while Deshaun Watson washing off some of his rust, I think the Cincinnati Bengals can come in here and win this game, and I think they do get the win. I think they return the favor on Halloween night, so I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals to win.
I have Cleveland winning this game because in the last 5 years, Cleveland is 8-1 versus the Bengals. Joe Burrow is 0-4 versus the Bengals. I don't count the second game of that season because he wasn't starting. So you can't say Joe Burrow's 0-5, even though the Bengals are 0-5 during Burrow's tenure. For some reason, they've got their number. They've had their number. They're leading the series historically by 38 games. So I see the trend continuing.
It's a very difficult game to cover because of everything Jeremy just said. Joe Burrow is 0-4 versus the Cleveland Browns, and that's something that he's always had an issue with the Browns. So I think that one of the biggest problems that you're going to run across is Deshaun Watson is just not there yet. The ring rust isn't there. The ring rust is still there, and he's not been 100%. He looked awful last week versus the Houston Texans. Yeah, they scored 24 points. 21 were from the defense.
They didn't score an offensive touchdown. They got
Exactly.
they got one on special team, 2 from the defense.
Yep. So at the end of the day, I still think I'm going to pick the Bengals in a close game. I think the Browns will cover the 6-point spread, but I like the Bengals on a walk-off field goal. And although Joe Burrow is 0-4 versus the Cleveland Browns, he's had three touchdown games in those 4 games. So he's not played terrible. It's just Cleveland has had their number moving the football with their offense versus Cincinnati's defense.
Yeah, I want to take Burrow because this is the time where Burrow starts to pick up, his steam and starts to get going. And but Jeremy's stat, man, it kind of makes me think and kind of makes me want to second guess that pick, but I'm going to stick with it. Like you say, Joe Burrow, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs 3 times this year. Obviously I'm a huge Chiefs fan, and I know the Chiefs aren't the end all be all, but still
Until somebody smacks them in the mouth, yes, they are.
But you know what I mean? Like it's obviously the Super Bowl was way more important to the Bengals last year than beating the Chiefs, but and beating the Chiefs is not, a superstar award. With that being said, though, they're still one of the best, if not the best team in the AFC. And for Cincinnati to win that game close, it helps that momentum. And as we talk about, momentum's a real thing. And I just have a hard time picking against them right now. So we're in December. They're playing good football. I love Joe Burrow. In my eyes, Gene, and you mentioned this on pregame pigskin a couple weeks ago, where you said, like, to you it was Mahomes and Burrow, and you like Burrow better than you do Herbert. I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like, I love Burrow. I think I think the kid's got grit. I think he's smart. I think he knows the game really well. He's not out there slinging the ball. I mean, we're not talking about his arm power. We're talking about his football IQ. And I love Joe Burrow, so I'm not going to pick against him. Even with Jeremy's stat, I like how Jeremy brought that up, and that is daunting. But I'm sticking with Burrow and the Bengals.
I will say one thing: Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, and all them on their morning show on ESPN, they do call him Joe Thorough.
Listen, Joe Burrow, I felt like I was talking to like a wall earlier in the year when all those quarterback lists were coming out. And I'm trying to tell people Joe Burrow is better than Justin Herbert. It's Mahomes, Allen, and Joe Burrow. They're the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's elite tier 1, period. And, somebody gave I forget who it was. And y'all guys, if y'all heard it too, you can correct me. But someone gave a superhero comparison to those 3 quarterbacks. And I thought it was really interesting. Josh Allen is Superman, man of steel, strong, fast. He runs. And Mahomes is Spider-Man. He does stuff we've never seen a quarterback do. He's flying all over the place. He's throwing the ball from different angles. And Joe Burrow's Batman. He's just a guy. He's just a guy that, that makes it happen, right? Like, he's no super human powers. He's just a guy. And I think that comparison was spot on. I just think Joe has it. And, I remember watching his Heisman speech when he was talking to Coach O about being sitting for 3 years. He's like, I am playing 3 years, and you believed in me, and you gave me this opportunity at LSU, and won to win the Heisman, and the legend of Joe Burrow was born. Big fan, by the way. If you couldn't go.
No, I agree with you, man. Like it was, you know, I mean, you know, the Chiefs have been to 4 AFC championships. I watched that game last year with them, and it was. I watched that game last year with them, and you know, obviously, it broke my heart to watch my team lose in the AFC championship. But man, I just, you know, there was something crazy, and I would love to pull up the stats because obviously, I know he's lost a couple of games, but prior to the AFC championship, they mentioned that he lost his high school state championship. And then he told everybody after like losing that high school state championship, he was like, I don't like that feeling and I don't ever want to feel that again. And he went undefeated through college. Never lost.
I think he threw 6 touchdown passes in the high school championship game too.
Yeah.
I think Cottrell was there. My guy Cottrell. It was Ohio State championship.
Yeah. That just blew my mind that, you know, some 16, 17-year-old kid was like, yo, I just lost for the first time and I don't want to do that again. And then holds up a national championship for the LSU Tigers. I don't want to turn this into a Joe Burrow fan fest, but like I said, Joe Burrow he's awesome. So I have a hard time picking against him. So I'm sticking with Cincinnati. Even though I love how Jeremy brought that stat up. So, Coach Dante, man, we've got your 1-10-1 Houston Texans against the 9-3 Dallas Cowboys. Coach, man, you think Houston's going to pull up an upset against the Cowboys here today?
Why would I think that? Again, why would I think that? Like I say, it would get better. Like I say, times will get better, man. Like I say, we went through this whole road before. Things will get better. That's why I don't get upset or just, you know, that's why I'm always got a smile on my face. So at the end of the day, we know what this team is. We know what the need. We know what the coaching staff is. We know what the quarterback situation is all about. So at the end of the day, Cal, you don't have to ask me who's going to win this game. We can just move on probably to the next game.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, this is why I love December football is because stuff like that does happen in December football. I don't think it's going to happen today with the Houston Texans and the Cowboys, but like I said, I love December football for that reason because upsets happen, man. So.
It ain't even about like if the offense could put up points, the defense could be competitive. We can be competitive on the defensive side. We show signs we can be competitive on defense, the offense. You can't win a game if you're scoring 15. If you can't get past the 50-yard line, you can't win a game like that. So, I mean, it's just all offense, and it starts with the quarterback play. It just starts basically with the quarterback play and the coaching stuff. So, at the end of the day, we don't have a chance because the offense can't do anything.
Let's see. Houston sucks. Dallas will win.
Okay. I think that if the Houston Texans were to win this game, it would be the biggest upset I've ever seen in regular season history. With that being said, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win by 30. I don't like, and nothing against Houston. I think they have the foundation to build around. They obviously are going to need a quarterback, and they're going to need to build around that quarterback, being able to give him weapons to throw the ball to, offensive line to protect him. The defense has been competitive. Coach said it perfectly. But I mean this when I say this. It would be amazing for the Houston Texans to win the game today. It would be the equivalent to me of Georgia winning an NFL football game. Like that's how lopsided I feel like it is.
Yeah, I've got Dallas winning this game as well.
Clean sweep.
Yep, clean sweep. The 10-2 Minnesota Vikings against the 5-7 Detroit Lions.
The favored by 2.5 points, Detroit Lions.
That is so wild. That is so disrespectful and so wild.
Why? Vegas does their odds lines not only by overall record, they do it by the last snippet that you've done, like your last 5 games. In the last 5 games, Minnesota's 2-3, Detroit's 4-1. and they're at home
can't be
where
2-3.
they've been scoring over 30 points a game.
Minnesota can't be 2-3. They have 2 losses on the season.
They lost 2 in the last 5 weeks.
You said 2-3. That means
Yeah,
2
in their last 5 weeks,
that's
they've
2
lost 2.
That's 2 of 5, Jeremy. You're good.
They're 2-3 in the last 5 games, is what I said.
Got you.
Yeah. That being said, I'm going first for a reason. Right now, statistically, if you throw out the completion percentage, the quarterback with the most yards, most touchdowns, and least interceptions in the division is Jared Goff. That's hands down. Less turnovers, less everything. And Jamison Williams is going to be probably doing 10 to 20 snaps. I think only 5 to 10 of those are passing targets because he's still getting into game speed. They're still working him in. So, yes, half of it is a decoy where they run a play instead of using him. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, they couldn't stop him in the first Minnesota game. Shark is actually looking like he's getting the playbook down. We're running the ball well with both running backs. So, I say I have Detroit winning by double digits.
Coach?
This is my upset pick of the week. The Detroit Lions over the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings, they almost blew the lead last weekend to the New York Jets. Came from behind to Mike White threw that interception in the end zone. Minnesota defense is not really that. They're not that good on defense. Minnesota is not good on defense. Secondary is bad. It's not good at all. So I think the Detroit Lions, the way their offense is, Amon-Ra St. Brown has been phenomenal since the Thanksgiving game. They can run the football with Jamal Williams and Swift. Jared Goff doesn't turn the ball over, I think the Detroit Lions have an opportunity to win this game. And I'm going to pick the Detroit Lions to win this game real close. I think Detroit beat them by 24-20. I'm going for the Detroit Lions.
Okay, so I got the Lions also. I think the Lions win the football game. I love the momentum that they have right now as a whole. I love their offense. The offense combination of Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift has been incredible. The wide receivers have gotten better. Jared Goff's playing his best football of his career. I think that this is going to be a very, very high-scoring game. I don't think the Detroit Lions defense is that good. I think Aiden Hutchinson's incredible. I love watching what he's doing. Jeffrey Okudah is a very good cornerback, but outside of that, there's not too many people on that Detroit line.
Let's not forget, in the last 17 snaps, James Houston, the problem, has 3 sacks, 6 pressures, 6 QB hits. In 17 sacks, he's probably the best pressure rate guy in the NFL right now because he's only played 2 games, and in limited fashion, they're using him as a pass rush specialist, as they damn well should do.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, 2 games is good. I would love to see what the Detroit Lions do over the course of a 17-game season. Defensively, Aiden Hutchinson and Jeffrey Okudah are only 2 guys on that defense that have really balled out for the entire season. So they have the 31st best defense against the pass for a reason because they've been passed on all year. So I will take the Lions, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, 33-27. I don't think this is an upset special either. The Lions are favored. So like I get, the fact that the records are upsets, but the Lions are favored in this game. I think it's absolutely disrespectful. But I get it. Vegas wants to cover their ass because they think the Lions are going to win the game.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree, Gene. I think it's disrespectful to the Minnesota Vikings. But the Lions have been picking up steam so far in the past, in the past few weeks, in the past month. So, a division game, against the number 1 team in the division. And I think the Lions take it. So our next game on the docket is going to be the 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles and the 7-4-1 New York Giants. So, Dylan, how are you doing today, sir?
Good. And I don't know what was going on. As soon as I joined the StreamYard, everything was freezing up.
I know. I saw you join 17 times, man. So
yeah, every time I would join, anytime someone would speak, their sentence would not be finished and it would freeze. And it wasn't even telling me it was a network issue. It was just freezing up. So I don't know. It's working now, so I'm not going to argue with it.
I like it because we're in the same position we were last year for the Lions when we started getting on this trend last year, but we started it 5 weeks earlier. This is the same week where we smacked Minnesota in the mouth in their house last year.
Yeah. Are you guys going to make the playoffs this year, Jeremy?
We have to run the table. Odds are against it. Can they make the playoffs? Yes, but no, I don't expect it.
Jeremy, that was way too much. Way too much.
No, that's the honest. It's an honest answer, though.
Yeah, but
They can, but they won't.
All right.
That's what I said.
We're not in church, so you don't need to pray.
Oh, I pray every week. I'm a Lions fan.
They're not making the playoffs.
But they can play spoiler.
All right, Coach. Who you got in the Philadelphia and Giants game?
It's a trap game for Philadelphia. I feel it's a trap game. Going into MetLife Stadium, the Giants always cause problems for Philadelphia. They did it last year. But this is a different year. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Philadelphia do enough to get by. I think Darius Slayton, he's been pretty okay, but I think his trend kind of ends today against Darius Slayton and James Bradbury. I think they run the ball pretty effective, but I'm not sleeping on that Giants defense. That Giants defense can be pretty competitive, and the Eagles, they've got to watch out. They can get beat. This can be a dogfight. This can be pretty much a dogfight, and I think it will be pretty much a dogfight. But I think the Eagles will find a way to squeak it out. I believe I have more faith in the offense than I have faith in the Giants. On the offensive side of the ball, I have more faith in Jalen Hurts than I do Daniel Jones at this point. Just keep it run heavy. Get A.J. Brown them involved. And Jalen Hurts continue his trend. No turnovers. I think they can win this game. I got the Eagles by 3 points. In this game. I do not think this game is going to be a blowout.
I think the Giants defense keep it close, but the Eagles win. Saquon Barkley's at 85%. He's not at 100% right now. He came up a little lame in the last game, and he's still not playing. He's been playing in a limited fashion every day at practice. He's a questionable game time decision. So at 11:30, we'll find out if he's actually out or not. If he's out, Eagles house him. If he's not, it'll be a close game, but the Eagles still win.
Saquon Barkley was just rolled in literally a minute ago.
Yeah,
so
he said it in the chat, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's in. So
okay,
he just rolled in. I got the tweet.
Okay,
but and listen, no one would have known that we were on the show.
Yeah,
the New York Giants always play the Eagles tough in MetLife. In Philadelphia, it's a different story, but MetLife they always play us tough. And we go back to last year when the Eagles were rolling and they couldn't move the ball versus the Giants defense at all. With that being said, I think Daniel Jones has a big game on his feet, like running the ball. He always does that versus us. We're terrible against the read option with Daniel Jones. It's like the Eagles defenders don't think he can run. They don't treat him like another mobile quarterback, which he is. A lot of people don't look at him that way, but he is.
Actually, the fastest quarterback in the NFL, but tracked GPS wise over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and that's a thing that a lot of people don't give him credit for. Y'all remember the sniper game on Monday Night Football when he was running 75 yards and then the sniper took him out. But that was me. I was a sniper. I'm kidding.
Fantastic.
But with that being said, I still think the Eagles find a way to win the game. I just think they win it close. I think they win it ugly. I think it's a 26-23 game. The Eagles defense shows up much better at home than it does on the road. And they're on the road today. So I think this is a close one, but I think the Eagles pull it out close.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles on this one. Everything everyone said is basically correct. I think if the Giants need to win this game, it's going to have to be a gritty game from them. I feel like that's kind of all their games are going to have to be since they're so injury prone. They don't really have a lot of weapons. They're going to have to take you to some deep waters to beat you, and especially at MetLife, that's a thing the Giants possibly could do. But I really like this Eagles team. I was pretty adamant on saying the Giants were going to lose out, and then they tied last week. So I don't know really where that puts me in that situation. But that was interesting. But yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. I overall like this Eagles offense a lot better. Their defense is slowly getting there. They've definitely had their problems. Like Gene said, they have problems with rushing quarterbacks, which is a little weird since your quarterback now is a rushing quarterback. So you think Might have a little more practice reps on hand, but who knows? But
They're actually really good against rushing quarterbacks. They're really bad against Daniel Jones running the ball.
oh, okay.
Like they limited Kyler Murray. I'm serious when I say this. It's embarrassing because every time Daniel Jones plays us, I feel like he runs for 80 yards. And like that just drives me nuts. Like the thought of that. I apologize, but it's just
you're all good. I'd be upset if Daniel Jones rushed on me 80
Yeah,
yards every time
correct.
I played him.
want to hit
But
him
yeah,
every time.
I'm going with the Eagles on this one. They're surging. I still feel confident the Giants will probably lose out. I don't know after a tie now. It kind of changes my predictions, but I'm taking the Eagles in this one.
Just change it to they won't win another game.
Fair.
You
So
know what I mean?
Giants
Like,
won't win another game.
The tie is not a win.
Fair.
There you go. I like that. Of course I'm going with the Eagles. They've got 7 points, so give me the points. I'll take the 7 points. Like I said, until the Eagles show me something different, man, I'm not picking against them. So, we can do this. We can do this every week, and I'm still picking the Eagles. So until they show me that they're going to start losing games. The next game, guys, is the 8-4 Baltimore Ravens against the 5-7 Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Coach Dante, brother, who you got, man?
It's the who?
The 8-4 Baltimore Ravens against the 5-7 Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is a tough one, man, because the Baltimore Ravens actually make a game tough, make it tough like this. I'm gonna take the Steelers, man. I'm gonna take another upset, bro. It's just the Ravens offense. It's just the Ravens offense, man. It wait to the last minute of the seconds of the ball game to get the ball into the end zone. They struggled last weekend, which is we all expect them to struggle against the Denver Broncos defense. And unfortunately, Denver offense just can't put up any points at all. So it's just too many signs showing me that the Ravens are not they're average 8-4 team, man. It's just Lamar Jackson is not 100%. I'm going for the Steelers. I'm going for the upset. I'm going for the upset pick, man. I like the Steelers defense. I think the Steelers defense is pretty solid. They can get Najee Harris going early. I feel good about and get George Pickens to football, like George Pickens told Kenny Pickett to get him the goddamn football. If they actually get him the football, I think they can win this game. So I'm gonna go for the Steelers. It's just too many signs showing me that the Ravens can't do anything on the offensive side of the ball. And the defense has been playing a lot better lately. Offense has been just in a struggle mode.
So what I'm gonna do, Jeremy, I'm not gonna cut you off, man, but I'm gonna insert right here, and then that way we don't have to end with me, because I don't want to make it seem like I picked the same thing as everybody, but we'll find out. Because Coach Dante took my upset, man. I was gonna go for Pittsburgh in this one. And Gene, I don't want to make it seem like I ride your coattails, brother, but man, you said something a couple weeks ago, man, that I 1,000% agreed with. I don't know what it is about John Harbaugh's strength and conditioning, but for whatever reason, man, their defense falls apart, and their team, their injuries and stuff like that. So the defense is playing better, but they can't close out games, and they've got injuries on offense. I like Pittsburgh in this game a lot. So, like I said, it's unfortunate, but man, Gene, when you mentioned that a couple weeks ago about strength and conditioning with the Baltimore Ravens and John Harbaugh, like I went back to the Super Bowl against San Fran and the Colin Kaepernick. They'd have lost that Super Bowl if it wasn't for the lights going out. And like it's just crazy to me. So I wanted to get that out because I didn't want everybody to be like, oh, my upset is Pittsburgh, and then me go, all right, guys, I'm picking Pittsburgh too. So
You're good, Chase. Listen, I think that we got a lot of really good sports minds on the show, and like listening to you guys talk and break down games and give stats makes it that much better. Like I love that. I think that just from Jeremy's expressions, I know that I'm on it. I think this would be closer to a clean sweep with Pittsburgh. Jeremy, who you got? I got Pittsburgh too. I'll break down my reasons in a minute.
Ravens are the only fourth quarter defense worse than the Raiders. They've given up more points in the fourth quarter than any team in the NFL this year. They can't beat anybody in the fourth quarter. They had a 31-point lead versus Miami, and they came back and won. I mean, if that doesn't tell you enough, Pittsburgh is playing their best defense, and mostly due to the return of TJ Watt. Pittsburgh wins.
All right, listen, I'll bring up a positive note instead of a negative note of Baltimore. I'll give a positive note for Pittsburgh. Can we stop counting Mike Tomlin out? Can we stop asking if this man is going to be fired? Like, it drives me
This is blasphemous. This is bull. That's
exactly.
bull.
5-7. If they win this week, they're 6-7. Down the stretch, they have a lot of very winnable games. I think he finishes 9-8 again. I think he finishes above 500 again. It's something about November and December football that Mike Tomlin's teams are always ready to play. And listen, if I could say the same about the Baltimore Ravens, it's something about December and January football where it doesn't seem like the Baltimore Ravens are ready to play.
Yeah.
Just 3 weeks ago, the Baltimore Ravens were a lock to win the AFC North as far as like betting odds and everything. Now I've always been on the Bengals, and you guys heard that earlier, but now I'm very strongly on the Bengals. I think the Bengals win that division. I think the Ravens continue their fall, and I think that the Steelers knock them off today. I think they have a better defense, and I think that their quarterback's playing very well. Kenny Pickett's playing very well.
I want to say something too. There's only one quality win for Minnesota this year, and that was coming back against the Jets when they played teams that were playing well.
Buffalo?
No, I'm talking about Minnesota earlier because I'm going to equate it to Pittsburgh. You know what Minnesota reminds me of? 2020 Pittsburgh Steelers that went 11-0 and then lost out and then lost in the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah, but you said that Minnesota only had one quality win. Buffalo.
Jets. Buffalo, that was a crazy game. If it wasn't for a circus catch, that game doesn't won.
It's a quality win.
I thought it was luck, just like the rest of them.
It may be luck, but you can't override the win. It may be a little luck.
I like overriding it because I hate the Vikings.
Is it a quality win to beat Detroit?
It was the first time. It won't be today.
Just another one then. Detroit, bro. I'm just
to piggyback what off everybody said. I'm going with the Steelers. I don't think it was a crazy idea to think it was going to be a clean sweep. No Lamar Jackson is definitely going to affect this offense, especially since he's a lot of their offense, just point blank period. Not having someone like that is going to affect a lot. They don't have receiving weapons to give Tyler Huntley outside of Mark Andrews, so it's not like you're putting a backup quarterback in a nice situation that he can air out the ball if he has to or rely on his running backs because they're all just injured. So the Ravens won last week, but that's because they played a horrible Broncos team. Anyone could probably beat that team right now. So this is a different Steelers team. I would take the Steelers to beat the Broncos. I think the Steelers are better than the Broncos right now. This is going to be a lot better game. I agree with everything that everyone says with Mike Tomlin. Like, people need to start respecting him. Like, he's had a rookie quarterback in Mitch Trubisky this season. He's had they traded away one of their best weapons that they had in Chase Claypool. Even though he hasn't been playing well, he was a focal point of that offense. He was one of the longest tenured players, at least on that offense.
Not since 3 years ago. Chase Claypool stinks. I'm sorry. I'm a Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool hasn't did nothing since his rookie year. Hasn't did anything since his rookie year. Flat out nothing.
True. But he was still running the routes in that 2 spot. Like, they just took him out of there. He was still that main person in there. Outside of
I kind of want to elaborate on this. It's the reason why I call Chase Claypool Finding Nemo, because you can't find him on the football field ever since his rookie. You haven't found them. Yeah, Deontay Johnson hasn't played up to par like he was last year. So then your offensive line haven't really played good. They haven't really blocked for Najee Harris at all. So even if Mike Tomlin does have a losing season, I think that's bull crap.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of coach that's been so consistent. He deserves to go out on his own terms with this football team. If he decides to end it, he deserves to go out on his own terms, not to be fired, not be fired. That's bullshit.
Set him free. Set him free. Be dumb about it. Set him free. Watch him go to another franchise and have a 10-year career with them and end it with them. I hate when organizations, when there's one bad season, an organization will look at a coach that's been there for,
Ever.
how long has Tomlin been there? 10, 15 years as the head coach, and then go, yeah, no, sorry, you're done. Well, you got to go.
Yeah, it's
After,
upsetting.
yeah, no, it's yeah. It
And
gets,
a lot of those factors aren't even really the coach's fault itself. It's like because the GM made a dumb trade. Like he just has to coach the mistakes. Like it's not your fault that you traded for someone bad.
Yeah.
Or made like a stupid pick that everyone told you was stupid. Like it's not Mike Tomlin's fault.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're talking about Mike Vrabel.
Speaking of Mike Vrabel, we've got the 4-8 Jacksonville Jaguars against the 7-5 Tennessee Titans.
Titans. I can't pick Crampsonville after the shit show they had last week.
This could it could be a. I'm gonna go for the Titans. I'm gonna go to the Titans with a slight edge. I think it's gonna be a closer game than what everybody think. I think it's really gonna be a closer game. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like the Jaguars future. Like Trevor Lawrence, he's getting better and better. He's getting better and better. Marvin Jones starting to step up for him. For the last couple of weeks. I really think this is another game that could be a trap game, but I'm gonna take the Tennessee Titans by a slight edge. I think the Philadelphia Eagles were just better than the Tennessee Titans. That was all. I think they were just by far better than the Tennessee Titans. So they just ran into a buzzsaw last weekend. They ran into a different breed, and AJ Brown let it be known on the field. Hey, you let me walk. You did not want to pay. You did not want to pay me. So hey, he just made them pay. So I think they just ran into a buzzsaw. I think they can clean it up this weekend.
So it's funny you say that. You bring that up about last week, and I kind of missed this point. I'm going to give a quick Eagles point, and then I'll get right back to it. But do you know the coach that helped make the decision to bench Jalen Hurts for Tua Tagovailoa? It was Brian Dable. A lot of people don't know that. So I kind of wanted to talk about that and just say that for a second. But all right, let's take it a step further, right? We're talking about the Titans Jaguars. I am a perpetual believer in Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. And no matter what, I'll go 4-8 picking them, but I've picked them almost every game this year. Didn't pick them versus the Eagles, didn't pick them versus the Chiefs. But my point being is I've picked the Jaguars in almost every game with the spread. I love what they're doing there. I love Doug Peterson, former Eagle guy. And I love Trevor Lawrence, the way he's developing. You see how much of a difference a coach makes for a young quarterback. Urban Meyer was there last year, not knowing what God knows what. He was doing awful. I think that was the worst coaching hire in the NFL, maybe in the history of the NFL. It was just terrible. But Doug Peterson going there, very quarterback-friendly coach. And Trevor Lawrence seems to be progressing very well. Travis Etienne, he's been hobbled the last couple weeks. So I still think that, the Titans always beat the Jaguars. But I can't pick against my guy, Dougie P. Can't pick against Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans on this one. I like what Coach Dante said with saying that the Titans just ran into a way better team last week, and that's just kind of what it was. Like, there's levels to this, and the Titans aren't just there yet. I like saying that. The Jaguars have been very inconsistent. I do agree with everything you've said. I love what the Jaguars are doing. I was very hyped on the Jaguars. I said they were probably going to be the team that win this division because I didn't believe in the Titans. But now things have changed a little bit, and the Titans have kind of got on their stretch, kind of got on their roll. I'm going with the Titans. Derrick Henry loves beating up these conference opponents, these conference teammates. He loves beating them up. So I feel like he has a decent game, especially after that Eagles game last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the. I'm sticking with my pick on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like them for an upset here. I mean, I don't even really want to call it an upset, but I think it would be an upset for them. I think their defense is able to stop Tennessee's offense, and I think they come out with the W this week. So I'm picking Jacksonville. The next game, guys, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 9-3, visiting the 3-9 Denver Broncos. Coach Dante,
Why your volume get a little bit louder when you talk about the Chiefs?
Because man, get some pep in my step.
Same reason mine does when I talk about Detroit.
Yeah.
It's obvious. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll waste no time after that loss against, a tough Bengals team in Cincinnati. They will waste no time beating the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos, it's some issues going on with them. There's some issues going on with this, especially the coaching staff, but the players, the offense. Cortland Sutton is out. He's hurt. He has not played well at all. Russell Wilson, the whole offense as a whole has not played well. From coaching, play calling, the players just haven't played well. Now this defense, like I say, is very good. I know they gave up a touchdown to Huntley at the last second of the ball game, but the defense is out on the field too much consistently, and the way the Chiefs' offense is just going to be too much for the Denver Broncos. So I'm going for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think the Broncos are going to score much in this football game.
I'm sticking with the Chiefs. I pick them every week. I'm going to continue picking them, and I so far I've been pretty good.
What I'm gonna go with the. No, I'm kidding. I'm going with the Chiefs. Chiefs gonna blow them out. Broncos stink. Look, I'll tell you right now. I think the most overpaid person in this country, and that includes politicians, is Russell Wilson. Like, it's absolutely insane how much money this man makes to be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and not to like, harp on too much on the, like, you and I, Gene, like, great minds think alike or whatever. But I said it on here with these guys. I heard you say it on the pregame pigskin game, and I think that Denver, when they hired Nathaniel Hackett, they had the deal all ready to ship to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers. And when Green Bay said, piss off, they said, oh shit, like, what do we do? They sent the exact same fax to Seattle. Didn't even think about it. They were like, they hit panic mode. They were like, we need a quarterback. We've got to do something. They immediately sent the exact same deal. Because I've looked at the screenshot of the side by side of what Denver gave up for Russell Wilson and what Seattle got. And I was like, and then the payment, I was like, that was Aaron Rodgers' contract. That was Aaron Rodgers' trade, and that was Aaron Rodgers' contract. And I think Nathaniel Hackett hit the panic button, was like, let's just go ahead and give it to Russell. I think we can still win with Russell. I still think we've got a great team. And yeah, it's nuts. So
is there a more cringeworthy guy in the NFL than Russell Wilson, though? Every time he talks, he says
maybe Mitch Trubisky.
Oh,
I'm a Seattle fan, and like, man, I loved Russell Wilson as a player, but like, and he did great things for like the communities and stuff outwards, but man, I could not like listen to him on anything. It's like, I just had to see him in the news. Like, it's like, cool, Russell, I'm glad you're doing some things. I can't like watch you. You make me cringe every time I see anything you do.
Yeah. You remind me a lot of Donovan McNabb, the way his, like, how cringeworthy he is, like the type of dumb shit he says throughout, like I don't know, man. He's so awkward and so weird. But Broncos country, let's cry.
Yeah.
Broncos country, I'm dead inside.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs on this one. I feel bad for Denver fans, especially they're playing a Kansas City team who's upset after a loss. And I know if I've lived in Kansas, in that area my whole life, and I know Kansas City Chiefs fans don't like losing. So like, this is not going to be a fun game for Broncos fans. So yeah, Kansas City's going to win very easily.
All right, next game on the docket, guys. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 6-6, going up against the 8-4 San Francisco 49ers.
I'm taking the 49ers to win this game. I love the defensive side of the ball. Love Christian McCaffrey. Now, the only question, the quarterback. That's the only question. I know Brock Purdy, he's bad. He sucks. He sucks at quarterback. Not sold on Brock Purdy at all. He's a reason why he's a 7-round pick. But at the end of the day, that's the only questions I have. But I think this defense will do enough to hold down Tom Brady. Again, they struggled versus the Saints last weekend. Last Monday night, the Saints, that game was more on the Saints coughing that up than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming back and winning that football game. But I'm going for the 49ers. I love the defense, and Brock Purdy just got to not turn the ball over and manage the game. If he can manage the game well, then I see the 49ers winning this game, but I'm not sold on Brock Purdy. I think he sucks as a quarterback. I think he stinks. He sucks.
Mr. Irrelevant isn't that irrelevant, though. Look at what he helped do last week. I think San Francisco can win it. The only way they don't is if it's a less than 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Look, I'm going to tell you, you're talking about what we did last week. Defensive coordinators get to prepare for a guy that couldn't score a touchdown versus Iowa when he played for Iowa State with Breece Hall in the backfield. Don't kid yourself and think Brock Purdy is a good quarterback, bro. Brock Purdy's awful. He is so bad. And I don't mean that listen, he was the last pick in the draft for a reason. I don't think he should have been drafted, in my opinion. I think there were plenty of quarterbacks that didn't get drafted that were better.
I agree. I don't know how he's drafted.
With that being said, I think Todd Bowles will put together a package that will make Brock Purdy have to beat you through the air and constantly put pressure on him. I think Purdy will turn the ball over. I think the 49ers offense will look very lame and stagnant. I think that Tampa Bay will do enough to kick a couple of field goals. And I think that the Buccaneers win this game outright.
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers on this one. Buccaneers haven't really showed me any flashes of consistency to really think like this Brock Purdy-led 49ers team shouldn't be able to beat them. Again, I know me and Coach Dante have a lot of game film as Big 12 college fans on Brock Purdy, and we know he sucks. Like, he was a 4 or 5 year starter for a reason. It's because he's all Iowa State had, and he didn't want to go anywhere else. He wasn't ready for the pros. So he wasn't good. But this is still a 49ers team that has an amazing offense. The Buccaneers have struggled against all sorts of teams, not just a specific type. So I think the 49ers can get it done. I would like the Bucs to win, being the Seahawks fan, especially since we got to play them on Thursday. But no, I think the 49ers will get it done this week.
Breece Hall was Iowa State offense.
Oh, yeah.
Iowa. He was by far Iowa State offense. If it wasn't Breece Hall, then you forced it Brock Purdy. Though Brock Purdy was gonna rattle up under pressure. If it was Breece Hall, it was just Breece Hall carrying the whole load of that offense. Breece Hall was.
And they had like 1.66 receiver, 1.66 receiver that could throw a deep, like a 40-yard deep ball to every time.
I'm gonna give you the funniest comparison of Brock Purdy you'll ever hear, and it's so accurate. Like, even from the way he looks, everything. Y'all ever seen the movie Friday Night Lights?
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy is Mike Winchell the 2 weeks and 3 weeks after Boobie Miles got hurt. Because that's who he is. Like, he's a guy that's like, oh, shit, my running backs carried me my whole life. Oh, I got to do this on my own now? That's who Brock Purdy is. Mike Winchell.
So San Francisco, I like their defense, but obviously with the offense, I can't see them making a big play to come up and win this game, or not even a big play. I can't see them. I can't see the offense with him at quarterback being able to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Todd Bowles. However, I do see Todd Bowles being able to stay in this game with his defense and Tom Brady closing the game out. San Francisco's favored by 3.5 points. I like that, man. I'll take Tampa Bay. And you know, I don't care about those 3.5 points. So I like Tampa Bay. I still think it will be a close one. Like I said, I think, you know, given Tom Brady's experience, you give me him in the last few minutes of the game to go down and score a touchdown, I think Tom can do it. So the next game on the docket, guys, we've got the 4-8 Carolina Panthers against the 7-5 Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going to Seattle. It was a huge win against the Rams last week. Huge win. They definitely needed that win. After losing I think 2 in a row. They definitely need that win, and definitely a good bounce back game. And like I say, Carolina's not good at all, not a good football team. They just traded away Baker Mayfield 24 hours. All of a sudden a lot of people say he's rejuvenated against the Las Vegas Raiders, which is the Las Vegas Raiders defense gave up a 98 damn yard touchdown with no timeout. So at the end of the day, man, I got the Seahawks. I think this is a rejuvenated year for Geno Smith. He's doing an excellent job with his offense and his receiving core, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf helping them out. I like the Seattle Seahawks in this game.
Jeremy, you muted.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Seattle, Carolina stinks.
I don't understand how we were happy enough and lucky enough to get a gift like this on Sunday. I bet sports, man. I just don't see how you can bet against Seattle in this game. Carolina is awful. Wait, hold on. We're having Carolina travel across the country, play at Seattle with Sam Darnold at the helm against a team that plays notoriously well at home with the 12th man. It's in the playoff race. I get it. Kenneth Walker's not playing. That sucks. But, like, how in the world are they only 4-point favorites? This game should be a blowout. I don't care who's running the rock. I'll take Seattle. And if I'm wrong, I lost a lot of money.
Yeah, me being the Seattle fan, this is kind of an easy pick for me. But yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks. Yeah, no Kenneth Walker or DJ Dallas, which is going to be a little interesting. But I think a lot of people forget, like, Seattle runs all their running backs anyways, so it's not like this is not anything new for them. It's probably going to be Travis Homer and then Tony Jones II, probably. And then Godwin, I don't know how to pronounce the dude's last name.
Igwabuke.
Yeah. What
we called him in Detroit was Igwapuke because he pukes up the football every time he runs with it. He's great as a punt returner, but don't let him run the ball. He'll fumble.
Well, he's the third running back, so I'm not looking at him to get a lot. But Seattle really runs Travis Homer a lot. He's been on the team for a while, and then Tony Jones has gotten some snaps as of late. So it's not anything I think is going to be too crazy. Yeah, going with Seattle on this one. We're kind of getting to that state where we're going to see Seattle always just play close games every week against every team, and just the normal Seattle fan state where, like, they just make you want to shit your pants every week because you don't know if they're going to win or lose to a good or bad team. And that's just what Seattle does. So I'm not excited for it, but I'm also excited for it because we're in the playoff hunt. I'm liking this team, getting a lot of big players out of our rookies, and we have 2 first-round picks. So thank you, Denver. Seattle.
Yeah. Seattle. It's not even. I'm not even going to break it down. It's Seattle. I will say I was really big on Sam Darnold when he first went to Carolina. And I was like, well, New York Jets, this is why they suck. This is why they're going to continue to suck. I'm glad to admit that, when I said that a couple seasons ago or last season, that I'll eat my words now. Obviously the Jets knew what they were doing by getting rid of Sam Darnold. So. All right, guys. We've got the Sunday night game. The 8-4 Miami Dolphins go and face the 6-6 Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm gonna take Miami. I don't think that now that I know the Chargers, I don't think they're making the playoffs. I don't think they're making the playoffs. Too many injuries. The defense has injuries to it. JC Jackson hasn't played. But also, man, you got to work with what you got on the field. Staley is not a very good coach. He's not a very good coach. He doesn't make too much adjustments. I don't see a reason why the Dolphins can't win this game. The offense is too good. The offense is very high powered. They got so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And Mike McDaniel's doing a hell of a job with this team. He's in it for coach of the year. I don't like the Chargers, and I don't like the way they're playing. So I'm gonna take the Miami Dolphins. I think the Chargers are done for. I just think they're up out of there. Chargers just not good enough. Brandon Staley is just not a good enough coach. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins. I don't see how the Chargers defense stopped this Miami Dolphins offense.
I love where your head's at. I hate Brandon Staley, but I'm gonna take the Chargers in this one. Sorry, Jeremy, I apologize. I
It's okay.
lost my mind.
I agree.
I'm gonna take the Chargers in this one though. I think that Justin Herbert, get Mike Williams back and Keenan Allen. He's going on prime time. He's gonna want to show you that, what's that called? Social media quarterback. I'm kidding. I know that's the whole Emmanuel Acho thing, but I think that he shows out tonight. I think he looks really good. I'm gonna go with the Chargers, and I'll pass it back to my man Smoking B.
I got Miami winning. I don't think Miami has two bad games in a row. Tua's playing well for the most part, with the exception of last week. Last week was his one week where he looked like a college quarterback playing in the NFL.
Dylan?
I'm going the Chargers on this one. I don't want to necessarily count them out of the playoff race yet. If they lose this week game against the Chargers, against the Dolphins, I'll definitely probably be on that train and being like, yeah, this is probably it for them. I want to see what they have with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, on prime time. I feel like this is a good chance to see what this Chargers team is still made of. I think Staley is a horrible coach, but I still think he can still maybe salvage together something, maybe a playoff run. It's going to be very interesting with the Chargers. I always have a tough time picking them because I don't know really what to expect. They play good, but they don't win the games that they should. They always play around the same pace though. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one, but I could really see the Dolphins just blowing them out or just playing just a well overall rounded game and winning it. I'm just going to take the Chargers because I don't want to count them out yet, and they need to win this game to stay in the race.
Yeah, Dylan, I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you on the Brian Staley part. I think he's god awful. I think I regardless of what I said about Joe Burrow earlier, yes, I think Joe Burrow is better than Justin Herbert, but it still doesn't take anything away from Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert's a very good young quarterback and has an amazing future ahead of him. And you've got Justin Herbert under the helm, you've got Mike Williams, and you've got Keenan Allen, who's one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL on your team, Austin Eckler. And, and you've got a defense with Bosa on the defensive line, Khalil Mack on the defensive line. Regardless of injuries, I know injuries happen, but I mean, prior, this team sucks all year. They're 6-6. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's like looking at the Raiders and being like, well, I don't think Josh McDaniels is that bad of a coach. No, he's horrible. He's god awful.
No, I said Staley was bad. I said Staley was butt.
Yeah, no, there's bad, there's awful, and then there's god awful. God awful is shit. There's Brandon Staley right there on sitting on top of a shit pile is Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley,
him and Nathaniel Hackett are hanging out.
Yep, and Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, and Josh McDaniels. But anyways, all three of the AFC West quarterback or coaches, other than Coach Reed, of course. Anyways, so these I like this game. I think this game is going to be fun. These teams are super evenly matched, and it's crazy to me. So, Miami's favored by 3 points. But, as far as offense goes, points per game, Miami's at 25, Chargers are at 23. Points allowed, Miami's at 24, Chargers are at 25. Like I said, I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm still going to pick Miami. It's a close game. I like the points. So I'm going with Miami in this one. But like I said, I think it's going to be a good football game. I think we're going to see some offense in there. And what did T.O. used to say? Get your popcorn ready. I think that this will be one of my favorite games of the week, the Dolphins and the Chargers. So, and it's on Sunday night.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
The next game, guys, we'll go ahead and pick this Monday night game, and then we're going to close out here, guys. Man, we kept it kind of close today, guys, especially with 5 people. The 6-6 New England Patriots against the 4-8 Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football. Coach Dante, who you got, man?
So you got the 4-8 Arizona Cardinals and the who?
The New England Patriots.
I'm going for New England. I'm taking New England to win this game. I know I had to think about that before I picked that game, but I got a lot more faith in New England than I do the Arizona Cardinals. It's been Kyler Murray is a top 20 quarterback at best. He is not. He's an okay quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. Not good, not great, not good, not great, not elite. Doesn't elevate the teammates around him unless DeAndre Hopkins is on the field helping him out a lot. Marquise Hollywood Brown has been injured, but when he's on the field, he's been inconsistent with drops. The team literally just quit. Literally quit on Cliff Kingsbury. I don't give a damn if he got 2 years. He needs to go. I don't care how much money he's making. I don't care about the years. The team quit on him. Anytime a team quit on you, it shows signs you should be done. You should be up out of the NFL. You should not be coaching the NFL roster if a team literally quit on you, if you lost the locker room. And at the end of the day, I just do not like the direction of this Arizona Cardinals football team. And they got to start with Cliff Kingsbury. He's a terrible head coach. Couldn't win in college. Could win with Patrick Mahomes on the squad. You go 6-5 with Patrick Mahomes on the football team, and your first playoff game is a stinker. Is a stinker, and you get embarrassed in a playoff game. So Cliff Kingsbury is not an NFL head coach. He lost the locker room, and I do not like the direction this Cardinals team is going in. I'm going for the Patriots.
I got the Patriots winning. It's the Cliff Kingsbury collapse. Now 18 and 52 in the second half of football seasons since being a head coach between college and pros combined. He is okay at the beginning of the season and god awful the rest of the way. This team cannot win unless the defense shows out somehow.
I'm so glad that a bunch of y'all finally on the Cliff Kingsbury should be fired bandwagon, because I've been on this bandwagon for 2 years. 2 years I've been talking about it. And I kind of want to break it down a little bit more for you. The Arizona Cardinals, I see you just said Kyler Murray is barely a top 20 quarterback. And you're right. As of right now, he is barely a top 20 quarterback. But that's not what his talent is. He was a number 1 overall draft pick, and he has the talent to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And I think that what ends up happening is he needs the right coach in place. I think you might see a 30 for 30 years from now about Kyler Murray apologizing to his coaching staffs for not watching film, like Michael Vick did when he sat down and talked about how he didn't prepare and he thought his athleticism was enough. It's embarrassing what's going on there in Arizona, man. And if I'm the owner of the Cardinals or the general manager, I'm getting Cliff Kingsbury out of there. I'm getting a coach in there that will actually coach Kyler Murray. It might be too late, though. It might be too late. You already paid him. So it's tough to coach somebody hard when your franchise already committed to him. You're sitting there with a situation like you have with Russell Wilson in Denver, where you can't bench him. How do you bench him? You owe him $240 million. What do you do? And if a coach comes in here and tries to get hard-nosed with Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray does exactly what he's been doing all year, all throughout his career, is taking his ball and going home and crying about it and sitting on the sideline and pouting. There's a reason his teammates yell at him. There's a reason that he's a very, very poor leader, extremely talented quarterback.
I'm going to disagree. He doesn't pout and go home. He gets excited when he gets to go home because he gets to go back to his PlayStation.
You had multiple receivers coming out. You had AJ Green literally come out questioning his leadership ability. And you had DeAndre Hopkins. You had DeAndre Hopkins getting on him on the sideline saying, "Throw me the fucking ball." And he got literally upset at that. So it shows you what type of teammate he is. It
Patrick
shows you what type.
Peterson, who was the leader of that team, coach.
Yep.
Patrick Peterson, who was a leader of that team, said Kyler Murray is for Kyler Murray.
So you had 3 teammates. You had 2 wide receivers and a cornerback call them out and question this leadership. And you know who stepped in front of it? The head coach steps in front of it. But you had 3 of his teammates. You had AJ Green, who used to be a top, you can argue he used to be a top 5 receiver in the game of football. And you have DeAndre Hopkins coming off a 6-game suspension, and saying, give me the goddamn ball. Just basically question them. So it tells you about that, what type of leader he is and what type of leader he is. It just tells you right there. Right there.
Agreed. Dylan, was it the Seattle Seahawks in the second to last game of last year that beat them? I know you're a Seahawks guy, but I'm pretty sure he threw a pick 6 versus somebody. And it was a ball that he was throwing to AJ Green. And this is when I absolutely knew that Kyler Murray was shot, right? He threw a pick 6. And it was a bad throw on his end, and he threw his hands up and showed up AJ Green on the middle of the field. You talking about AJ Green, who's been in the league for 15 years? Like you punk kid brat. That's been the most talented player on the field until you hit the NFL in any level of sports you've ever played. In high school, in college, he's talented. No one can argue the talent. He's just a brat kid. He's never matured. And it's unfortunately, it's probably going to be too late before he figures it out. One day he's going to look back and see how embarrassing he was. But I forget the team was. I'm pretty sure it was Seattle. But I'll take the Patriots in this one. I think they're a more disciplined team. Bill Belichick's going to run the football. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I think Kyler Murray will turn the ball over multiple times, and I'll take the Patriots.
Yeah. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan, being an OU guy. So I have a Kyler Murray jersey, everything, all those sorts of things. Big Kyler Murray guy. So it's sad to see him come out with like character issues and things like that. It's sad to see him come out with like different character issues and things like that, and not seeing him play well, and not being in a good experience. Because Gene said it perfectly. Like he is a top 20. He's playing like a top 20 quarterback right now, but he's a top 5 talent. Like it's perfectly worded. Like he needs a coaching, and he's not getting that from Cliff Kingsbury. The problem with what's going on in Arizona is that like he needed an NFL-minded coach to get him into that right mindset. And what'd you give him? A college coach. Like Cliff Kingsbury hasn't done anything right. I mean, Kyler Murray's having all these problems because I imagine Cliff Kingsbury isn't really doing anything to combat them. So I think he needs to be out of there. I'm taking the Patriots in this one. One of two things can happen. The Patriots win this game normally just fine, or Arizona squeaks out a win. I'd rather take the Patriots defense just dominating this Arizona team who's been confused on offense, not getting to their players, and everyone's questioning other players. It's just not a good time. I'd rather just take the Patriots in it.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots as well. I mean, there's no reason to harp on the fiasco going on in Arizona right now more than what we have. I mean, Dylan, Jeremy, we all have talked about it, on previous weeks with the Sunday morning drive, and yeah. I mean, I'll take a Bill Belichick coach defense over a Cliff Kingsbury offense.
Yeah, I want to kind of elaborate on one more thing, and it's kind of funny when I think about this too, and it made me every time I think about this, it made me bring up Gene. But I know this from watching college football too. You had the best quarterback in the NFL. You can rarely make a bowl game with Patrick Mahomes. You barely a bowl game. You can rarely make a bowl game with Patrick Mahomes. You barely
argued about this for years.
I just had to touch on it. I just had to get that out of the way. With the best quarterback right now in football, you rarely can make a bowl game. You rarely can get into a bowl game.
You have to look at like that OU and Texas Tech game where like Baker Mayfield and Mahomes just went absolutely nuclear each. And you'd have to like, I never really even heard of Patrick Mahomes on Texas Tech until like that game. And I was like, why is this dude on Texas Tech? Like, why isn't he anywhere else?
It was something to do with his grades in high school. It had nothing to do with his play. They were saying he'd have been at a Power 5 top 5 school had he had a little better grades. Texas Tech is a little more laxed in their academic entrance.
Fair enough, then I guess.
It's nothing to do with his football IQ or ability. It had to do with his grades.
Fair enough. I mean, that's understandable. And if he got there and was comfortable, I guess why leave?
That offense fit his system, even though Cliff Kingsbury was crap.
Air raid. They said throw the ball. This is the Big 12.
Where defense is adoption, but throwing the football isn't.
And that was the Big 12 where like it was all offense and no defense. Now there's like more teams in the Big 12 got some defense. Like some teams are filling out a little more comfortably. But back then it was like, no, the only thing we have is offense. Like defense is not a thing here. Like we'll make it to the college football playoffs and lose by 40.
You had 3 teams that could run the ball consistently in that division, and the rest of them just threw it.
Yep.
Cliff Kingsbury's an embarrassment, guys. I've been sad. Like literally,
He's an atrocity.
I'm 113 shows in. My 3rd show, I was talking about how bad Cliff Kingsbury was. 110 shows ago, and I literally got like lambasted. Like I got destroyed. People were constantly, oh, like he's done this, and I'm like, look what he did at Patrick Mahomes, Texas. The guy was given a gift to take over the Cardinals and have the first overall pick. He's literally smoking mirrors. He's been smoking mirrors his whole career.
He wanted Kyler Murray. He the one that drafted him. He the one that wanted him.
I know, but
He the one that wanted him. Yep.
He went from Patrick Mahomes to Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Talk
He
about
the one that
quarterback
wanted him.
talent you get to draft.
Yep.
He went from the Flash, to what's that? Plastic Man.
I get the idea, Jeremy. I wouldn't compare Kyler Murray to Plastic Man. Like Gene said, Kyler Murray
A subpar hero is what I'm getting at.
Like I said, I got it, but I'd have said something like, what was that one that Will Smith? What was that one that Will Smith used to play? Where Will Smith did Hancock. There you go. Kyler Murray is Hancock. He don't want to say.
I got a better one for Patrick Mahomes. He can run. He looked like he could run like Lamar when he came out. He could throw like Brady. He's the Red Tornado.
There you go. All right, gentlemen. So that does it. I mean, we went from all of today's games to Monday night's games. Got our predictions in. Did all the good stuff. Talked about the hot topics and everything. And so with all that being said, Coach Dante, I'm gonna start with you. We're gonna go around the table. I want you guys to tell everybody where they can find you on Sports Empire Network and on other social medias. Let's put you guys over real quick before we close out here.
Man, y'all already know, man, an awesome show, having fun being on here with you guys, man. I'm having a blast being a part of this network, man. Y'all already know, Empire Sports Network, man. I am the leader of the play-by-play commentary, man, play-by-plays and stuff like that. So y'all can find me right here. Instagram, Coach Dante 31, where I post daily highlights of NFL, college, NBA, and on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Coach Dante 31.
Sweet. Coach, I'm not going to harp on you for saying Empire Sports Network because Freddie, even himself, for crying out loud, was like, after I decided on Sports Empire Network, I wanted to change it to Empire Sports Network because he couldn't get the name right. So I'm not even going to correct you.
Yeah.
No. When the leader gets it wrong, you can't say nothing. Yeah. But
Jeremy, go ahead, man.
All right. As I said, you can find me at Kneecap Biting, Smoking Jeremy B. You can find me here every Sunday on the Sports Empire Network on the Sunday Morning Drive. You can also find me on Fire Up Michigan, which is through the South Florida Tribune channel. You can also find me on Inside the Pigskin, which is their NFL show. I'm everywhere. I'm on Let's Talk Sports doing a post-game show for the Thursday night snooze fest we've had all season, except for 2. I literally have to set an alarm sometimes because I can't watch the games. I just pull up the stats and go over the stats.
There you go. Gene, let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
Wire to wire.
Amen.
listen,
My man.
it's been a hell of a ride on Wire to Wire, man. We've had some really big. We had our biggest month ever in the month of November. Most downloads we've ever had, and
At the end, come back to me.
pregame and pigskin. Monday night it's going to be the cheap seats. Friday night and one. Sunday morning here. Sports Empire Network is huge. I got another show coming. It's about reality TV, the Challenge podcast. If you like the challenge, let me know. But yeah, man, I'm doing this thing. I bought this whole setup for a reason. I'm gonna keep going each week. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, listening, and what we're doing. That's this way.
Yep. You can find me on Tuesdays on the Big Three with Kyle and Jordan. Gene knows Kyle very well. Great dude. Definitely knows his stuff.
Kyle.
Love Kyle. Yeah, then you can find me here on Sundays for the Sunday morning drive. Trying to figure out my schedule a little bit more, try to get more consistency so I can be on some more shows and stuff like that. But like we're getting there. Just a process.
Absolutely. Jeremy, what'd you want to close out with, brother?
I actually am going to be the new co-host of the Detroit Lions News Podcast, where we have 3 former Lions tonight at 6:30. We have Stephon Logan, former kick returner, running back / wide receiver. We have Glover Quinn, former safety, and we also have former wide receiver Mark Schmidt.
Love Glover Quinn. Love him.
Yeah.
Used to be a Texan. Love him.
Yeah, that's badass, Jeremy. I like that. Again, before I kind of go on my own little schnick here, Gene hit the nail on the head with the cheap seats. I want to let you guys know, SeatGeek, use promo code SEN for Sports Empire Network, not Empire Sports Network, for Sports Empire Network. Make sure you go to SeatGeek, get you some tickets, get you a percentage off. If you want to go to a concert, you want to go to a sporting event, you want to go to any type of venue, SeatGeek's got you taken care of, and Sports Empire Network's got your back. Use that promo code, get you a percentage off. Definitely check that out, guys. CR Media 1988. Like I said, I am Sports Empire Network's residential pro wrestling guy. Anything and everything pro wrestling you can think of. But we do a AEW Dynamite post show on Wednesday nights, guys. We do a football show on Tuesday nights as well for Sports Empire Network. But my main shtick is wrestling, independent professional wrestling specifically. On Thursday nights, I do a show called the I-70 Hot Tag, where we cover Kansas and Missouri independent professional wrestling. And we actually just sponsored an event last night where I got to go watch guys jump off balconies and wrestle in a steel cage. So we're killing it right now, guys. We're growing and it's awesome. So that was why we named it the I-70 Hot Tag, is so we had room to grow, because I-70 goes all the way across the country. So that is it, guys. That's going to do it for the Sunday morning drive. We appreciate everybody that joined with us this morning, everybody that hung out, everybody in the comments, everybody who hit the like button, everybody who hit that share button.
Gentlemen, background of Jeremy's house.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been crazy. I'm sorry. That's what happens when I'm visiting family, but at least I got good internet now.
Jeremy, I'm just family.
Yeah.
Hey, let you bust my chops.
You're a good dude.
So
I smiled.
guys, we appreciate you all joining with us. Tune in next Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time or 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Sunday morning drive, guys. That's going to do it. And we
don't forget, for those on the West Coast, if you're up and working a first shift job on Sunday, we're on at 7:30 a.m. Pacific.
Hey, I'm glad you did that, Jeremy, because I wasn't going to do all that work. But absolutely. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy some football.
See you guys later.
Mahala.